What's up? What's up? What's up? YouTube. It's your boy coming at you one more time live worldwide. So, just wanted to address a couple things here about the situation. First of all, I gotta say it's 11/23, 2022. It's November 23, 2022. So just wanted to address a couple of things about what was going on in this situation. Let's just say overall hip hop. You know what I mean? I mean overall hip hop, live generation, and I think what is going to spark this conversation is like what recently happened with the death of the Migos rapper Takeoff. And I don't want to troll or do nothing like that. That's why it's like been almost a month since that incident. So I don't do any of this trolling stuff. I just call it out like I see it, man. And this is a deliberate message to those people that are in this rap game. I don't get it. I mean, it was like, you know, I saw Nipsey Hussle, and I wasn't like a big Nipsey Hussle fan, but I like the music. But I was not even in the country when this happened, and I was like, what's going on? I mean, then I get back to the country. I was like in London, and I get back to the country, and it's like I didn't even realize that this rap thing was so violent these days. And then after that, it's just one after another. This King Von situation, then Young Dolph. I was like, exactly 1 year ago, it was like Young Dolph. And I mean, Young Dolph was like one of the solo Southern rappers that I was kind of digging. And I heard about, I mean, get shot up at a cookie store. It was just like bizarre. Like, how do you do that in the hood? Like, just go to a cookie store and get blasted. But moving on forward, here we are, a year later, another major rapper taken out, Takeoff. And I'm like, the Migos, like, I mean, they're worldwide. I mean, like, they're the hottest hip hop group in the world for the past decade. And you got a guy worth roughly $30 million dollars or more hanging out with thugs at a bowling alley. But this is like the distraction, like what I say to everybody. You know, all the glitter ain't gold. All the glamour is not gold. All the cheddar, it's not gold. What you're thinking is like something that is a paper note is valuable. What you're thinking is something like a chain around a neck, a watch is valuable. So we have the distraction, and I've seen it my whole life because I'm like at an age now where I've seen this. And I'm thinking like, I was around like in September 96 to see the death of Tupac. And I was like, the setup. I was like, what day did this happen? Was it a Friday? Was it the 13th? This, that, 96. And you still have no closure on what happened to Tupac in 1996. Here we are in 2022. So what Tupac meant to me, I mean, 26 years ago, back in 96, Takeoff probably meant to the younger generation. Young Dolph probably meant to the younger generation. King Von probably meant to the younger generation. Pop Smoke probably meant to the younger generation. All unsolved murders, I mean, is one after another. And then 6 months later, we see in my generation in '97 March, we see Notorious Big, B.I.G., taken out. All these subliminals, standing in front of a tombstone, standing in front of a casket, standing in front of his hearse in a cemetery, all black, life after death. Next thing you know, he gets popped, the album comes out. double album, double whammy. Made money for years and years off the Tupac and Biggie remixes and remixes and remixes and the Lost Vaults. Somebody's getting rich off that man's death, and I've been seeing this happen for decades. And I'm saying to myself, like, what is the the incentive like that you have to use a black man's soul or spirit or consciousness to evolve in this Hollywood game or entertainment game worldwide? I want to become big. I want to become famous. So you're talking to a young man, or I'm not young anymore, but I was in the hip hop industry with Biggie Smalls. A lot of people don't understand that when Biggie Smalls was around, he was signed with Universal. And Universal had an affiliate production headed by Storm Entertainment and Mark Pitts, and you saw those guys like win music awards and stuff like that. I was parlaying with all of them back in like '97. I mean, Biggie Smalls' manager, Wayne Burrow, Mark Pitts, the whole by Storm Entertainment. We lived it, man, back there when the Locks and DMX and all those guys were out, you know? We lived that lifestyle back then, and you could see the evilness that was going on in the distribution of Universal. You could see the evilness going on in all these big record conglomerates. And it never changes. And I'm just speaking from my perspective, like a brother coming up in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s. And now to see this same thing like with Tupac, with Biggie, happening to these young rappers today, but on a big multitude. And I'll even take it back before Tupac and Biggie. I mean, we'll go back to the 80s with Scott LaRock and KRS-One. It's just one thing after another, man. I've been following this hip hop game since the late 70s, yo. Take a brother out the hood that can dribble a basketball or pass a football, or he can spit lyrics. We're going to give him the opportunity to make millions. And see, this is what I was saying. When I grow up with the finer things of life, my parents, even though we didn't grow up rich, I mean, my father and my mother always introduced me to the finer things of life, even if it was for a brief moment, if it was a couple months or a day. I mean, it's like, yo, you know what it's like to live the good life. So you don't have to sell your soul for, I mean, a few chains around the neck and a couple bucks, man, and a one hit wonder. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow, 5 years. So I look at this. So let's get back to where we're at now in 2022, where they're still sacrificing these young black men for their entertainment. You see this whole thing with the Migos recently with the messy video, right? Okay. Not only that, a number of songs, 18 tracks on the only built for Cuban links, which they took from Raekwon, and now they made it only built for Infinity links. And if anybody checks out those albums, there's 18 tracks on that album. Why 18 tracks? Why did Takeoff die at 810 billiards or bowling? 8110. 18 tracks. Also, he's born on June 18, 1994. I mean, oh, is this all coincidence? Okay, so the Infinity Links tracks is number eight all over. The Infinity Links is basically a number eight. 810 billiards and bowling. Takeoff's known as the last rocket guy. He's taken off in Houston Rockets. I mean, is there subliminals all over this? I mean, so There's a cut on the recent album called 230. Okay, he was shot is exactly 230. Okay. Um, I mean, it's just like one thing after another. I mean, how many things? Okay, not only that, I mean, he signed his first solo record deal with QC, Motown, and Capitol Records. What? November 1st, 2018. So 4 years till the contract's up. Do you see the subliminals here? I mean, is this just coincidence or is this just too many to mention? They're doing the same thing, and we could read the same thing with Biggie and P. Diddy, right? Biggie and P. Diddy, the same subliminals. We don't want to go back there all the way to back to 97. We're just saying how they still sacrifice the black man for his talent. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're an entertainer, even whether you're an educator, I'm still going to sacrifice this guy because there's something in his soul that we need the momentum and spiritual to continue on track. Takeoff was probably a setup, you know. And all the tracks on the album basically is nothing original. First of all, you get the name of you base it on some other album that was released 27 years ago in 1995, only built for Cuban links, now only built for Infinite. How original, these kids. And then, I mean, everything off the album. How many tracks did you hijack off Outkast? I meant the original creators. And I see the same thing. Speaking of Outkast, you see the same thing. Andre 2000 and Big Boy. Andre 2000, Quavo wants to be the big star, go off and do movies and independent projects, while Big Boy, boom, Takeoff is the calm, collective, quiet one in the grassroots, connecting with the people. So now, I mean, now you got Quavo, he's going to take off. Solo career, he wants to get into acting, jewelry, big time. Why? Because of this, you know, what? Because of some cash money, you know, the white man's money, you can't get enough of it. You can't. I mean, it's just like how many cars do you need? How much fame do you need? How much, I mean, success do you need? I mean, it mind boggles me how entrapped we are over um, materialistic. I mean, have you forgotten like spirit? I mean, because it's spirit that matters. I mean, whether you're moved by God or Christ or a Buddhist, I mean, it's spirit that moves you, and you're just sitting here just over fame and Instagram and likes and jewelry and cars and paper banknotes. I mean, it's like, and you forgot what is like, okay, well, God has blessed you 1,000 times, and that, yet I still want more. I got more than the average person in the world, but I want more. What kind of mentality is that? And then when you get more, then you don't give back. You don't build a hospital or a school or go into, medical research or something. You buy another fucking car or chain. I mean, what is it? I mean, did you really deserve it? I mean, and then you sacrifice because you don't want to work for it. You don't want to get educated for it. You want to spit fucking lyrics in a microphone over a beat, equalized, and buy overpriced jewelry and cars, and then flaunt this to the public about drugs and fame and sex and alcohol and in illicit practices with narcotics, and then you come back and wonder why something tragic has happened. I mean, why? And it's a mystery. You're putting this into the fucking universe by the multitude, and then I got licked. This is the trick. let me give you a spiff from the young generation, or to the young generation. I mean, I've been there, man. I've had it all. Not all, but there's a lot more. But I've been there. I've been all around the world. I've had it all, man. I mean, I don't want to go down it. I mean, and I'm right back to the basics, man. You're up one day, you're down the next. You're up one day, you're down the next. I mean, when you make it to the point where you're where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm here in Old Town, Florida. I'm in Orlando, Florida. It's November 23rd, 2022. I just want to say this, man. I don't know if this really makes sense. I mean, I've been there. I mean, I've been in from DC and all the way down south, man, all the way across the border from Florida to Cali, to London to France. I mean, South America, Colombia, all around the world, bro. And the thing about it is, at the end of the day, all you got, all you got is you, bro. All you got is you and the Most High, man. All this stuff is an illusion. Money is an illusion. Fame is an illusion. Cloud is an illusion. Internet is an illusion. Social media is an illusion. We've had it all, man. I can't think of anything else that I want, bro, other than peace of mind and protection, security from the Most High and His angelic ones. I mean, I don't need nothing else, man, but health and beauty and family, I mean, so I don't know, man. It's hard to see the younger generation out here going through the same thing over a few dollars, some money, clout, a cell phone, a diamond necklace. Yeah. I mean, what more do you want? High THC weed or whatever it is, the CBDs they're smoking. Yeah. I mean, what is it? I mean, this is fun. Are you having fun yet? And then what's the end? A violent death for no reason, and nobody ever gets it solved. That's why I'm saying you guys are all waiting for the. I've seen it. Biggie, Tupac, Scott LaRock. I mean, shall we go on? Pop Smoke, King Von, Nipsey. You're going to solve Young Dolph. A year later, they still talking about it. I mean, when are these murders going to get solved, man? I mean, they're never going to get solved. They keep you talking and keep you angry. But what's the worst part about it is that you people do nothing. You sit back and watch. You know what I mean? You don't call, you don't protest. You don't say, hey, man, I'm going to get, you know, I didn't even see these people's families like you talking about law enforcement. I mean, where are your families? I mean, when Biggie died, man, his mother was advocating for the justice of her son. When Tupac died, his mother was advocating for the justice of her son. There were movements, man. You guys just sit back and watch, post, blog, and gossip with nothing before it's just old and buried and in the sand and forgotten. And then you'll make a documentary out of it 20 years later. You're sick. All you people are sick, man. Get a life, man. Join the revolution 2022. Stop fronting, stop protesting, stop begging with the hype, man. Get you some money and get the fuck out the hood. Get out of America. Get out your neighborhood. Get off social media. I'm out. Peace.